All right, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of the First After Dark podcast. I'm your host, the FRC man. And today is the first team exclusive podcast. I don't know how much we're going to talk about the team since most of them have been on podcasts before, but uh, it's still going to count as an exclusive podcast. So anyway, we have a few returning members. One of them being Julia. Say hello, Julia.
Hi.
Everyone should already know what you do on the team. You've been on here before.
Yeah, I like to talk about it.
Second member is Evan. Say hello.
What's up?
Evan, also a returning member. And then the third returning member is Chris. As you can tell, this podcast loves 1189.
Good evening, kind citizens of society. I am back.
All right. And then we have two new people who have never been on the podcast before, but I'm sure they'll do great. The first being RJ. Say hello.
Hello. Hello.
What do you do in your team?
I'm a member of the controls team, sub-team. So I do that stuff.
All right. And the final person we have here today is... Say hello.
I'm Steven from 1189, and I program robot smiley face. Also open site.
Jesus.
All right. RJ and Steven, how long have you guys been in robotics?
2 years.
Not true.
Okay, well, somewhat around that time.
What are you talking about? We joined the team at the same time.
Well, how long have you been on the team?
2 years.
2 years, boys. 2 years.
Yes, I said 2 years.
You said 3 years.
You said
two.
three.
Yeah.
The word two. All right, 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
I said 2.
So anyway, we're gonna get into it by talking about coronavirus. You know how that's a thing. Evan also being a senior, he's affected by COVID-19. RJ and Steven, I don't think are seniors.
No, I'm a junior.
No, I'm a sophomore.
Junior and sophomore. And yeah, I really don't know what to say, boys. Just say something.
Well,
Anyway.
there's
Well, it's been an experience. It's unprecedented, so
unprecedented.
getting used to it. It's a task, but everyone, it's been all right.
It's been all right.
All right.
Okay.
That was a long-winded explanation.
Bravo to you, bro.
It's been all right.
We're on occasion.
It's okay.
How have you guys been? How have you guys been filling up your time with the coronavirus going on in quarantine?
Open site.
Video
Mainly
games.
nothing.
I have an open site meeting after this.
I mean, I have personal projects I work on, but I also have open site that I do.
No, you don't.
What's open site?
I don't actually do that. But
Well, funny you ask. Open site.
No.
Open site is a free and open source vision processing system.
it's also a shameless plug.
Yes, that's what this is. Open site
That's,
is a
that's
free.
later in the show, guys. That's later in the show. Let's put the plugs later in the show.
All right.
We'll keep
Yeah.
on schedule.
He asked
What?
what's open site, and I explained.
Yeah.
But man, coronavirus, man. Well, that's a heck of a thing,
Yeah.
I never in the history of recent times, and even in FRC history, have ever had a season canceled this early, and it's unfortunate that many
It's shocking.
freshmen. I know, right? But
That's very recent times.
but
What?
so I guess in these unprecedented times, I'm curious of what are the teams that have never played the game? Who are teams that you would have liked to see perform in the season if it would have kept going? So
My team
for example,
never. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, okay. Well, obviously 254.
Thank you.
Playing Call of Duty.
For me, that's 1187.
Shut up.
Who's 1187?
I'd say 2910.
No, 1187, 1187.
1187, not
And 1198.
Okay. So we are team 1189, right?
Yeah, it's
1187.
1198.
1198.
That's not what I heard at Girls Comp.
Listen.
Basically,
Or
everyone
on the
always
bumpers.
missays our name.
Or at the bumpers.
That's a running thing.
Everyone.
Do I need to send the
numbers
picture?
us.
Do I need to send the picture of 1187 on our, or 1198 on our bumpers this year?
Yes, please.
Oh yeah.
That was RJ's
It
fault.
was a trying time.
I walked in. I saw that.
Why do they mistake
No, you moved it, RJ.
Yes. Not really sure.
Oh, yeah,
But
that
because
was my
we haven't,
fault, 'cause
as a
I got
team,
it in
made
someone's
a
head
name
to-
for
that was-
ourselves, or is
Here it is.
I also
well
moved-
known compared to
The
some other Michigan teams.
Traditionally, the 1189 never put just numbers. I think the historical motto was that we wanted
We are
everyone to
Gearheads.
include. Yeah, wanted everyone to be included. So stuff, but
It's not working.
Wait,
I'm trying to send
what?
the-
Yeah, so basically, the Gearheads motto is that we're all Gearheads. So a large thing is including everyone in being a Gearhead, and everyone has a place there.
Mhm.
But at the same time, by doing that and not having a team number on like our shirts or stuff, or no team number on our pins either, it leads to being a recognizable symbol, but not a recognizable team name or number. So we get the amount of times during like videos that you'll see that were called 1188,
Oh,
which is
God.
another great Michigan team. Yeah.
It's even more confusing when one of those teams is at a competition with us, and they get called 1189.
That's never.
Look, yes, it
Yeah.
has. It happened.
No, I'm not. What are you talking about, Julia? That's not happening.
Maybe I'm delusional.
You are.
I swear it happened.
No.
Maybe it was another team.
No, because that would have made us immensely disappointed, and I don't remember that happening.
What happens during like awards and whatnot?
That's
They can-
that's
they
the
have
issue,
they
I see.
have the numbers on the paper, so that way they can remember it easier. But
Yeah, no, but I remember. Well, I don't remember, but I know of when we were first selected on an alliance at a state event. They wanted to select 1188, but they selected 1189, and that is when we first were selected at a state competition.
The whole
And
reason
I-
we got in was just mean.
At Girls Comp, they accidentally called us 11. Was it 1198 that time?
1198, I believe,
Yeah.
from the video that they released. I think it was it was your alliance, right? Yeah. Yeah, was it Killer Bees or something like that, or no?
No.
30, no.
No, because we won Girls
Was
Comp,
it-
so it had to be a good team.
It was when I walked up. It was
The
when they were
Rubber Jackets,
announcing. It was when they
bowling?
were announcing what teams were on, like, were alliance captains, because we were fifth seed, and when they like were announcing who each captain was, they said the wrong team number, and I kind of just stood there and started like panicking almost. I was like, oh God, what do I do? And they made me wait in line until he got my team number right. So I had to just sit there and wait until I like got the all clear to go and stand up on the. It was not.
This was probably 4 seconds in real life.
It really. It felt like forever. Listen, being on that field, time goes by different. Let me tell you.
I'm never down on the field, like ever. I'm always just either in the stands, or just in the stands, or in the bathroom. Like I'm never on the goddamn.
Honestly,
I wish I was, but man.
The campfire at Milford, that was a top tier field action.
Bro, campfires are great.
Is that a hot team
What is
exclusive
it?
thing?
Don't believe so. Might be though.
What is?
We should steal that.
Sitting in a circle and just chilling before a match. Just having a campfire in the center.
With all your alliance partners.
That's it.
First times I ever
Yeah.
seen
Just
that
chilling.
actually happen.
But it's
so-
everyone though. So it's vibing. You can't disrespect the vibe.
That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Was it,
Who discorded me?
y'all just vibe.
I remember
You
back
guys,
at
like,
Worlds.
dances and whatnot? I'm sorry, what,
What
Chris?
did you say?
What was
No,
that?
I was about to say with the campfire. I remember back at Worlds in 2018, there was a sacrifice that happened.
Oh, yeah, that was us sacrificing you in a T-pose circle around you. That's different.
What?
Speaking of
Please
Worlds-
explain.
Speaking
You're
of-
telling me that your team does not have sacrifices for your team members? Are you kidding me? What
No,
kind of
we
team are you
we
on?
sacrificed team members, but not in that way.
Damn it, Matt.
Blackie.
Steven, stop.
You're the one who sent the picture.
I did.
For a reference, Julia sent a picture of 2013 and 2015. Steven, aka me. And I said,
This will be Steven graphics.
and I said, this will be Steven Graphics in 2015. And everyone
How did you know you
laughed.
said that? I didn't even read it.
Laughing. Speaking
Okay.
of Worlds 2018, so in World, I wasn't on the team this year, so this is like a
You weren't
like-
on the team this year.
or 2018, the year I'm referring to. In 2018, I was not on the team. So this is like an urban legend for me. So Evan, you're not allowed to talk about this because you were. Oh, and Chris, you're not even allowed to talk about this because you were on the team. So we need to like elevate it to myth status. Anyways.
Okay, so wait, do me and Chris say what's fact and what's not afterwards?
Sure, if you wanna.
Okay.
Okay, so basically we were not like cool enough to be one of the actual people who played at Worlds, but we were cool enough to be one of the backups for one of the teams who was going in for Worlds. And then
Don't
for
tell this story, Steven. Steven,
no,
don't tell
I have
this.
I have a part
Don't
two.
do it, Steven.
Evan,
no,
I-
Steven.
no. We
No,
I have an
I
extension.
want to
have
hear
to let
it.
the
I want to hear it.
I have
Mute
an
Evan,
extension.
We have to
Evan.
let the
Don't do
I have
this,
an
Steven.
extension. I have an
Mute Evan.
extension. I have an extension. So what happened
Oh.
was that that alliance member thing, the one of the teams in the alliance broke down, and our team was like, "Oh yeah, we get to go, yay!" But then a different team, who I will not name, that doesn't start with a G because they don't. Their robot didn't work, but they were like, "Hey, we can play anyways," and then they
That's
did play
not-
anyways. Stop talking,
No.
Evan. Stop talking, Evan.
That's not what happened at all.
So anyways, our team secretly hates that team now, and by hate I mean not actually hate, but hate, wink. And so with OpenSite, one of their mentors is actually using OpenSite, and they were testing it out and asking about like asking questions and stuff. And I was helping them with it, and then I realized, oh my god, they from the team who stole our worlds, and now I'm shaking and crying. And that's the story.
Well,
Thank you for coming to my
That's-
TED Talk.
So Chris Evan,
No.
no.
Who is making
Um,
that noise?
I think that's
That's
Chris.
me. Yes, sir.
I was
would you
100%
guys
right.
care
So-
to elaborate on?
Well, here's-
Basically, no. No robots were broken.
But there were some emotional about how the alliance should be played. So the
No,
story
alright.
goes.
Those numbers.
From my point of view, as I was on the field talking to them, was basically we were against the number one seeded alliance of 2767, and so it was tough. And they won the first match in a strategy that was somewhat effective, but they only barely won it. And they thought the best course of action was to continue the same strategy over and over again, as of course it would have to work. Well, we in our final match before like our final qualification match.
Mhm.
We were against 2767, and we were going block for block with them. And so we knew that with a little bit of help and some luck in autonomous, we would be able to beat them.
Yeah.
But instead, the Alliance decided to go with the same method multiple times in a hope to beat the number 1 seeded Alliance.
So what you're saying is that
Which did
Govan
not
lied
happen.
to me?
Govan always lies to you, Steven.
No.
Scovin.
Whoa, throwing shade.
Ah, well,
Wait,
that's-
speaking of which, why isn't Govan here?
Yeah, everyone add Govan in chat. Oh, he's not on the server.
That's a
never mind.
question.
He's not.
Govan is in the server.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
Yes,
is.
it is.
No, he's not. Oh, he's not in the
He's
chat.
not
Yes,
in that
he is.
specific chat.
Adam, stupid.
Dummy.
Yeah, go this. Heart.
You guys want me to add him?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, hold on.
I can make fun of him for lying to me.
Yeah,
There you
no,
go.
it was just
I
a,
added it. I added
it was
him.
just a difference in strategy that was mainly pushback
This,
by
I think
one
the
team.
strategy, looking back on the strategy, at least on our alliance, would have been, well, I guess what could have been more effective, that could have turned the tide in the match, would have been having us in the match with 2 of our alliance members focusing on the scale, forcing Rush and Strike Force to keep playing the teeter-totter scale in 2018. Opportunity to play switches and the vault, which could have handed.
It is simply history. Team
Oh.
1189.
Oh
Who's ordering the Giornos?
Team 1189 does not encourage the hating of specific teams.
Yes, we do.
Thanks.
I hate all teams.
Yes, we do.
He's
Alright,
not picking
Chris,
up, guys.
Chris.
I'll take all
Yes,
six.
sir.
Hold on, Chris. So, I forget what episode. It may have been episode 3, but Evan, he was on, and he
2.
talked about a story of a night at one of your guys'
Oh,
hotels.
You and Brock, it stays this year.
Oh no.
So if anyone, I'm definitely interested in this story. I'm definitely interested in this
Okay,
story.
which story
you
is
care
this?
To elaborate?
Which
So
story?
from I will repeat. From my friend's point of view, he and Chris were in bed. He went to sleep with socks on, and he woke up without socks on.
Heat.
And Chris was in the bed with him.
Here's no. Okay, so first off, I had dibs on the bed first. Okay.
Oh, he's here.
Whereas
Guys,
Rocky came in
guys, he's here.
Second, no. What,
Joy.
Govan here?
Yeah, I called him. It worked.
Oh, second.
Okay, well, if he responds. So, first, I had first dibs onto the bed, and Brock, being the big sex that he is, he decided, hey,
No.
I'm gonna have the bed. So, then he refused to give up his right to the floor, and decided to
His right.
yes, because he had the privilege to sleep on the floor, but he stepped out of boundaries and wanted the bed. So, and at that point, we were tired, and it was a long day of inspections and all that mess. So afterwards, it was the night we were sleeping, and Brock supposedly blames me for taking his socks off through my yellow hands, but
Is racism?
But
Yes.
here's the thing.
No.
I don't move nor wake up nor do anything in my sleep, so it couldn't have
Whoever
been
said
me
you were
that
asleep?
taking his socks off.
Whoever
Right, so it
said
could have
you
been
were
him.
asleep?
So what?
Who else was in the
So
room?
you're completely denying this story, the allegations that you took.
The
from
What's true? Here's what's
socks.
true. Here's what's fact. Okay, the fact of the matter is that
Why are you so small, Evan?
Yeah.
That was when I was like 5'3".
Can we include this in the video?
God, I can't wait for this to be on YouTube. Can't wait.
All right, but
Brock looks like
anyway.
a Chad.
Anyway,
That's
Chris,
dumb.
you completely deny all the allegations of you taking the socks off.
That the allegations, yes. The only thing that's true is that Brock's socks were off his feet. That's the only thing that is true.
So what happened to him?
Fucking I know. I'm sleeping.
Chris, do you sleepwalk?
No, I don't sleepwalk.
Chris, are you trying to say that Brock only one time slept moved to remove his own socks?
What?
Are you
That's
sure there
entirely
wasn't
No,
third-party
no.
interference? Was there anyone else in the room?
There was
There was
Logan,
Logan
and
and Garrett.
Okay, no, I feel like that's suspect.
Garrett. Not
All right,
compared
now
to
I need to
Chris.
get Logan and Garrett in here, bro.
No, they're not joining.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it ain't gonna be a PG-13 show. Let me tell you that.
That's it.
Oh no.
Shirts after dark.
No.
Okay.
So
I have
Warning,
a
explicit.
prompt. I have a prompt for you all.
Okay, Steve.
Okay. If you take a lasagna and then put it on top of another lasagna.
Oh,
How
you
many
Ludwig watcher.
how many lasagnas is it?
Okay. Alright,
One.
let me just clear this up real quick.
It's one.
No.
It is one.
Shh.
It is one.
It is one unless the cheese is browned. When you get the caramelization on the first lasagna, it does
What?
not count.
What?
What if the second one has brown cheese but the first one doesn't?
Brown cheese.
Well, then
not
that
browned,
would be
browned.
one lasagna. If, like, the
Okay.
one on the bottom has caramelization, and then that is two different lasagna.
Why
But
is
if
that?
it doesn't have caramelization, it is not. It is one lasagna.
Why is that the standard?
Because the caramelization dictates a difference in layers. Otherwise, the layers are each repeating the same. However, the caramelization is different.
Can you have two bread layers on top of each other, or well, not bread, but pasta
Bread?
layers?
What type of lasagna?
Pasta
Bread?
layer.
No,
Pasta
dude,
layer.
but there isn't, because there's that mozzarella layer in between.
But you don't put mozzarella on the top. It's like you got it's
Yeah,
like
you do. That's the caramelization. What are you, dumb?
Yeah, that's how you caramelize it.
No,
If
it's
Gordon
like
Ramsay were here, man, I'm telling you, if Gordon Ramsay was here, he would have absolutely
Okay,
gave you a
it is.
new one.
It is one lasagna unless the bottom lasagna is caramelized. Now go back to watching Ludwig streams. Yeah.
No.
I just stumbled over so many words.
Evan owns libtard. No, stop, Julia.
I felt obligated to do this. Very obligated.
January 31st, 2016. I would have been,
Periods.
that,
Periods.
I was 13. Okay, none of this makes sense. Now you have to have like, we have to like either narrate what's been going on in the chat the entire time, or like
No.
include screenshots.
No.
Nah,
Or just leaving people
no,
in the dark.
I ain't gonna do anything. Leave them confused.
Me man not
Thanks,
gonna do
Excel.
extra work.
After dark, if you will.
No.
Laugh.
All right. So anyway.
No, stop.
Uh,
Liked by Ghost Rush 18.
so anyway, I see that you guys were able to go to a competition this year. Congratulations on winning.
Haha.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We were
Horrible.
not the main scorer.
Yeah, we were all right.
Hey,
I mean,
championships win defense, okay, guys? Just-
Okay,
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
record, if it wasn't for the Stream Deck destroying the entire robot, we wouldn't have been chosen by First Alliance.
Steven,
Am I wrong or am I wrong? Wait.
you are not incorrect.
The other way.
No, it was that intake jammed.
Yes. But
Because the
also,
intake jam caused us to go play defense on the team that eventually picked us. Because we
Yes.
were good at defense.
yes.
You guys had a climber too, which
Oh yeah.
the hot team they highly prioritize finding a team that was
Hey,
able
Chris.
to climb with
Chris,
you guys. So yes, sir.
your mole, I know who it is, and I'm on a Minecraft server with him.
What? Mole?
What?
What happened?
Like
What?
the
What?
chemistry
The
unit?
person who
actually
gave you the
confused. What's happening?
information.
Like
Did
the...
we win by cheating? Is
No.
this what this is?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Cut the VOD. Cut the VOD. Cut the VOD.
Oh no.
Alright, cut that out. Cut that out. Cut it.
Last time I almost had to cut something out, it didn't get cut out, so...
Is it being edited or what's
Yeah,
happening?
I'm gonna edit it.
Oh, I thought it was gonna
Lightly.
be one of those. Oh.
Chris.
Yeah,
No, it's a light
very
version.
Say
lightly.
something to make it so this has to get edited out.
I'll read my credit card number.
Do you want me to say my favorite word?
I
can
don't
do
want
that.
you to say your favorite word, but if you want to, I'm not going to stop you.
Anyway, congratulations on winning the event.
Hey, congrats 1189. Congrats to you guys.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats. What did your guys' robot do?
Oh,
Break.
it can drive around.
Break.
Alright,
Yeah,
so basically,
true.
alright, so this is what happened.
Break.
The robot was finished the day we left for camp.
That's
drive.
okay.
No,
that's
no,
that's
no.
a that's a that's
No,
a
no, no, no.
overestimation, I think.
The
No.
robot
Yeah, it was not really
was
that ready.
finished at comp. And it's not even finished.
It wasn't controls ready.
Steven, I was literally making parts as we were packing up the cart.
I was putting on sponsor stickers, yelling at people to
Then
get
why
out
are
of
you
my
saying
way.
it was finished?
It wasn't finished.
It wasn't.
You said it was
Basically,
finished.
more
You
of the
said
story,
it was
we had no
finished the
You
day
said
before
finished.
competition.
More of the story, we had no drive time and no code time. And so we were kind of winging it.
We also had no code time.
I said that, RJ.
I wrote the auton.
I'm
I
just
wrote the
making sure.
auton before each match, and I like slowly tweaked the
Yep.
auton before every match
Yep.
and like changed a little bit. Not by like testing it or anything, but just by trial and error in actual matches.
And he keeps telling me, this is gonna work this time.
It's true, I did say that.
And then it didn't. And
but
then it
then
almost
did. No, it did. The only reason it didn't is
And then
because
it
of the
didn't the next
potentiometer.
match.
It's only because
Very
of the
similar to
potentiometer.
this. Very
That's
similar
true.
to this. Our chairman's presentation was put together in the hallway right before he was going to present chairman.
If it wasn't for Grizzly, we would have
We were
won.
very crunched this year.
If it wasn't for Grizzly, we would have won chairman. Changed my mind.
We still have a chance, dude.
The judges really
Chance.
liked us.
They did.
Okay, so
They're like
basically,
our team.
what happened was, our shooting was alright, but not at all consistent. Our intake
it.
was faulty and jammed half of the time. We could only hold 3 balls. So
We
not
told-
good at offense.
We told everyone who scouted that we could hold 5. We're like, 5 balls. we
Pitch
got it."
scouting's one of the most useless forms of scouting, in my opinion. But anyway,
No,
I
but
digress.
basically, so we do that. We're unable to hang to the 3rd match because we have no way of routing our cables. We finally do that.
Oh, and no,
start
don't
hanging.
forget the one time that we couldn't hang because someone forgot to remove the Velcro straps that kept the arms
Yeah,
from raising.
shut up. That was the first match. So basically, we hung like 5 matches in a row. Nearly broke our climber, because the stream deck got unplugged, which we used to control our robot, and so it just kind of was constantly bringing it down, grinding
Biggest
up gears.
mistake.
But we
Yeah.
were still able to climb, because we over-engineer everything. But then we also almost broke the arms because we were pushed from the back while we were trying to hand twisting it, but it somehow didn't break, so that was nice.
Step-in proof. Almost.
Then we hung sometimes, mainly switched to defense when we were jamming, because we were running 4 Falcons on a 10-to-1 gearbox. And so we pushed everyone around and didn't, and at least I knew all the penalty rules, so I was able to score a bunch of points for us by
weird.
pushing the poor Mechanum bots around. So we were shown to do good at defense and have a consistent climb. and then we were luckily picked by Team 67 and 55-61. And then during the quarterfinals, we messed up our climb the first 2 matches, and then we got a triple climb each and every match after. And other than that, it was just defense, and good defense.
So we got carried.
Not to toot my own horn, but in finals match 1, during teleop, the alliance we were versing scored 2 balls in teleop. And so it was just fun afterwards looking at, because like people didn't realize how much you could shut down bots. If they were tall,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
can mess up the area in the rendezvous zone, and even with like limelight and open sight and other vision targeting stuff, if you just tap them while they're lining up and aiming, you can just completely destroy their volley of balls and make it all miss. So
Absolutely, bro.
defense was shown to
huge.
be effective, and it was fun just to watch afterwards, look back on it, and see how scores were different from like from the alliances we were versing. How their scores would change compared to an all-offense alliance versus our alliance with the defense bot.
Mhm.
And it definitely did not hurt that we had 2 of the best shooting robots at that competition. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Avery
looking
did
at
the dub.
the scores here. Semifinals 1, you guys are winning 184-66.
Yeah, it's fun because like so our autonomous, we did not get working consistently to get 3 bars each time. We would like
Almost.
either get 1, 2, sometimes 3, and then drive forward always. So we'd get the 5 points, but we'd always be down like 30 points at the end of autonomous, just our alliance. Even though 67 had an amazing autonomous, and so did 55-61. So we kind of just shut them down after autonomous, because autonomous we were losing, and then we were winning for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
And I just think that's like the power of defense that people haven't seen.
Now we're here. We won't see
And
anymore.
I feel like if competitions got later into the season, defense bots would become highly effective.
What week was this competition?
This was week 2. Milford District.
RJ plays free desktop notification sound.
What was y'all's second competition? Like what week was that?
We were going to play at Centerline.
Week 4.
Week 4,
Which is week 4.
and it got canceled.
Got canceled week 3. My team, we had a competition going in, and I was so happy that they canceled it. But then they canceled the entire season. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh.
You're like, oh wait, we have time.
And then my
Time
my
for
team,
nothing.
we never had a robot throughout the entire year.
I would like to mention before we get any further that I have to go in 34 minutes, and I'm also the one recording this.
Do your own side
That's fine.
pitch.
Yeah, now's the perfect time to do open.
Am I plugging open site right now?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, OpenSite is a free and open source vision software suite, and it's available it primarily targets the Raspberry Pi, and you can set it up on most coprocessors pretty easily. And basically allows you to customize your own pipeline. RJ, stop playing the free desktop notification sound.
There.
I'm getting chairman's flashback.
and chairman's one of our team members called both Julia and
Oh,
one of our
God.
mentors during the presentation.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
When I was in the room, I had my Apple Watch on. I forgot to take it off before going in, which was a huge mistake, and I feel really bad about it. But then I feel it buzzing, and of course I have to stand up straight, look at the judges, smile and everything, but I look down for a second to see that this specific team member is calling me, and my whole demeanor changed. I was like, oh God, oh no. And then my watch stopped buzzing. Thankfully it was on silent. But then, my mentor, who was in the room, because you're allowed to mentor or a student mentor, her phone goes off, and her phone has like a really loud ringer.
Yep.
Yeah, you know when you hear that sound that it's her phone that's ringing. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah. And her phone went off. And we were all like, oh god, oh no. It was the most horrifying experience.
I
It
was
was like-
I was also called, but I
I
was
was there when-
responsible. No, you were not.
No, when they call.
Oh. You didn't stop them?
No.
Oh my god.
Okay, anyways. OpenSite lets you create your own customizable pipelines. So basically, you can make really complex vision procedures, but still with a graphical interface. So it's more difficult for a setup cost than something like Limelight, but it allows you much greater flexibility, and for advanced teams, really, really useful.
And it doesn't catch
awesome.
on fire.
It doesn't catch on fire. That's true.
It's true. It does not catch on fire.
You have
And
to,
also,
you have to,
it's not $400.
True. Yeah. So you do have to provide your own hardware, but usually that'll come in at just under $100 if you're using Raspberry Pi 4, which is the latest one. And we're actually working with a couple companies, not companies, more like organizations, and that will be hopefully with OpenSite next year. You can just pick up one of those like prefabbed hardware kits, and OpenSite's already on there ready to go, and it's just like a pre-made vision solution, but it's OpenSite, and it's free, it's open source, and it's great software, and I say that because I work on it. I'm not biased.
Thank
Not
you.
at all biased.
Back to that
Yeah.
chairman's thing. RJ, you didn't stop.
I didn't know. Okay.
Here's the thing.
The thing
here's the
is that I was like, it was a keel. And
Cut it.
Everyone else refers to team member as to not reveal their name. RJ, well, you see it.
Well, you see.
and I was there, and then he picks up the phone, and I said, "Don't do that," and he did it. So that's basically all I can.
Okay. At the team meeting that was held the Thursday before our competition, and you cannot forget when I tell you something. I'm like one of those voices that if I say something, it goes. Like that's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
That's-
unless you're.
Well, you'll see. At that meeting, I said, if I am not in the pit, I am in the stands checking on people, or I am presenting chairmans. Like that. Those were the three places that I could be. I was nowhere else. And then, yeah. And then that happened, and I lost my mind. I don't think I've ever been so mean to a person after an event like that. But it made me so angry.
Well, mind if I ask what was the ringtone?
That yeah.
Bum 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 bum.
The mentor was his
Bum.
mom.
She didn't like turn the ringer on
She,
or turn the ringer off.
My
I-
mom's forgetful sometimes.
but
Well,
also
then-
she's a doctor, so you can't really like blame her for it.
Nah,
No.
she would have turned it off.
If she would have,
If she remembered, she would have turned it off.
If you
planned the whole
remembered, she would have
thing.
turned it off. But like, also, it's always on because of her job.
It's okay. The judges left.
Well, yeah.
The judges did laugh, and that made me kind of feel better. But
And we were like, haha, smiley face. But we were actually all dying inside.
You just
we
played
we
it
all
off.
went pale. Like, it was.
I remember the moment.
No, you don't.
On the other side.
Oh. I remember the moment when
You
the
weren't
person.
there. And it was so painful.
I don't remember because I was on the field, and I was crying for Steven because I'm like, Steven, the code's not working.
It was.
And
I
he
was
didn't come.
trying to fix it, and it wasn't working.
And
then
then
I
Steven
realized that
came
it
and
wasn't
immediately
right.
fixed it.
F.
Yeah.
I walk into the.
Oh
pantry,
yeah, I remember that. Because
Who-
that's actually why he was calling. He was calling to try to get me to fix the code.
Yeah, he was calling because I said I need Steven, but then Akil called you. I didn't tell him to call you. All I said is I need him. And then he said, okay, I'll call him.
So the truth comes out.
So not only did he call me, but then he called Julia, and then he also
makes
called
no
the mentor.
sense.
Well, I didn't know
When
he
I
called
No,
said
no,
that
no,
makes
no, he-
sense. It makes absolutely zero
Julia.
sense.
Julia, he knew we were presenting chairmen. That's why he called you.
Oh
Or
my God.
practicing.
Yeah, he knew.
He knew we
It's
were doing
funny
something with
because-
chairmans.
The times that we were presenting were like constantly updated in the general Slack so that everyone knew what we were doing. Like the time was in the Slack that we were presenting, like at this specific time. And he checked the Slack. He's always on the Slack. Oh God.
It's true.
Also, I'd like to mention that at Milford, the judges for chairman's, dean's list, and innovation and engineering were all the same. Or not
And
innovation.
the business
Entrepreneurship.
award.
Yeah.
And the safety judges were not from UL this year, which was kind of weird because they kind of didn't know what they were doing. But like, it was no. I'm going to explain. Like, they didn't have like the UL everything, like the list of what they asked. So it was different from last year for sure.
And I would like to mention
Still grateful for having them.
that Kettering is actually was Kettering. I think it was Kettering. I feel like it was Kettering. Julia, you know, remember when we were like approached by the college recruiters, and they were
Yeah,
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Yeehaw!"
Mhm.
So
I was at the pits.
They made us all fill out like a thing, and then they interviewed us, and none of us have heard anything from them since.
I didn't hear anything from them, but I did hear something from the Ohio State University first alumni president. He DM'd me on Discord,
What?
which was, yeah. And he's like, I heard you want to go to Ohio State. And I'm like, I do. And he's like, well, you got a place to go. And I'm like, thanks.
Do you actually want to go to Ohio State?
I do, yeah.
Whack.
They are like third in forensics. And like, I want to go into forensics.
Whack.
So.
Eat.
But I got it. Whoever just did those mouth noises needs to burn in a house fire. Just
Water.
saying.
Jesus Christ.
Safety captain, everybody.
Not anymore.
Julia is safety captain
yeah.
when there's water bottles in the controls
only
area.
safety
When
captain.
there's a water.
Here's a list of
Water
times.
bottles.
Water bottles in the controls.
Here's a list of times when Julia is safety captain. 1, when there are water bottles in the controls area. 2, when someone gets a paper cut. That's it. That's the list.
No, no,
people
no.
are
You've got 3
Throwing
and 4.
tools. No, it's fine.
No. 3.
No, I
Whenever
always yell.
he is.
Julia, you
whenever
advocated
he's
for the
around.
smashing of a CD.
Guys.
That was
Whenever
different.
that,
Really?
Guys, Evan's speaking. Whenever that person's around, or whenever me or Alexa gets hurt.
My priorities are straight. That's all I have to say. Is my priorities are
Probably
set.
Steven and RJ too, but they never get hurt.
That's not
I need a
true.
marker.
Yeah.
I
Twice.
only heard other things like laptops.
Steven ate styrofoam.
Oh yeah, he did eat
That was on
styrofoam.
purpose. That was on purpose though. It was
And
okay.
then
How would it?
It was on accident.
I wrote
What are
on
the
his
medical
arm.
aftermath of
I
eating
wrote on his
styrofoam?
arm.
I didn't actually
It's
eat it.
nothing.
Do not let him near
Oh.
styrofoam. It was at one of our ops and camps that we host. And
What's wrong with
Yeah, when
styrofoam,
there
bro?
are
God,
5th graders there.
yeah,
Steven ate the styrofoam.
Great
Not the
example.
5th graders.
with Steven.
I'm a role model.
That's debatable. It's highly debatable.
I would model a role any day.
Okay, Mr. Meme Man. Any questions before we wrap up?
Wait, hold on. Can I
We're
just say
wrapping
something?
Wrap
Okay,
up.
that was fast.
Can I just say something?
I'm kidding.
This
What?
it sounds like chaos on stream, and this is literally how our team functions. This is all of our team meeting. This is our
Oh yeah.
captain's
Yeah.
chat in Slack. We're a meme team. I believe we got that award from last year from another team. But like it's all fun and games with us. Yes, it gets serious at times, but most of the time we're very chillax. We all love each other. Great. Whoever's doing that also needs to burn an house fire.
Okay,
So
I'll start one real quick.
What
I
I
love
found,
that. Like, I love
what I
everyone.
found super
for-
interesting this year is that the unpreparedness for a majority of the teams.
Yeah, it seems like there was a complacency built in the lack of a bag day.
Yeah. Like,
Well, not necessarily complacency, but a increase in like complex ideas because they had more time. But due to the complexity, they ran out of time. Like I know that happened for us.
There was also a decrease of
happened with
doing
my
things
team.
for weeks.
that too. There's
Yeah,
no
we had a
incentive. There's
slow
nothing.
Week
There's nothing
3 and 4
telling
were
you,
like, I sleep.
We had a slow,
Yeah.
like 2, 3, 4.
We
and
didn't
then-
have a chassis until week 4.
No,
Yes.
we had chassis week 2.
Not put together all the way. No.
Not completely done.
A literal
Okay.
metal
Yeah,
chassis.
so we didn't have a chassis, like a complete chassis until.
We didn't have a drivetrain until week 4.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
true.
Basically, yeah, we rushed at the end.
I would like to say that in the captain's chat, the third thing, like the thing that was discussed 3 things ago was Evan saying, "God, I hat myself for Satin Dude, but I found this on the film disc."
What?
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 Excuse me?
That's
Wait,
me
I'm
reading.
sorry.
And then I said dude, and then Evan said dude, and then Julia said dude, and then Alexa said dude, and then Ben said dude and dudettes.
And then Evan goes, "God, I hate myself for saying." Dude.
No, God, I hat myself for satin dude, but I found this on the film disc.
Dude is in
Wait,
quotations.
where is this?
This isn't just captains.
Satin.
The channel that totally does not exist. That does not exist at all.
There's a Mentors channel.
Even-
Okay,
like 15.
there's a
There
channel
is a
called
Mentors.
Mentors Private. No space.
Oh yeah. I gotta tell Howie about that.
Evan is in it because he's the workspace admin, and he didn't tell any of us about it.
Wow.
Wait, I'm not actually in it.
No, you're not in it, but you can see it.
No.
Yes.
Yes, you are. You're the
Yes,
admin.
you can see it. Yes, you can.
No.
That's not how private channels
Even
work.
the owner of the server can't see the private
What?
chats.
How would that work?
What?
Who's the server? Wait,
What?
Someone has to see everything.
Really?
who's
I don't
the
believe
Yeah,
owner?
you.
no.
I don't
My
believe
mom.
you.
My mom didn't know this channel existed.
Oh?
Wait, no, but your mom is only a mentor or like
Your
a secondary,
mom is
a secondary
Oh.
admin. She's like a secondary
No.
admin.
No, she's the owner. I'm the secondary admin. 'cause
What?
I'm the team captain.
Oh.
It used to be Chris.
Oh yeah.
Why?
That was the
a
whole
thing?
debacle too. Was that I didn't even know I was admin, and then it was like what was it, a couple years ago, and then
Yeah, it was when you were captain,
Yeah.
and then also last year, you were admin for the past 2 years on Slack.
Chris, you were team captain?
Yeah, it was him and O'Grady.
Oh. We banned co-captains.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't ban it. I just don't like it.
Pretty sure it's general consensus that we banned it.
I mean, it stops
Classic.
people from trying. Hey, Chris,
yes, sir.
remember how we decided driver in 2018 or operator?
2018.
On the field, it was like, it's better.
Oh, yeah.
2018 or last year? I don't remember.
2018.
I think in 2018 we were in the media room.
No, it was
With,
between me and no, when it was still between me or O'Grady.
Oh, they don't know. No. So okay. So it was practice matches on Thursday night, I want to say, and
Thursday night, yeah. No, it was
Yeah,
Friday
and-
morning.
was it
Tuesday
Friday
morning.
morning? Friday. No, okay, no. Thursday night we were doing some practice matches, and then Friday mornings, and that was like the determining factor for who becomes operator and such. So I remember
Because again,
was-
we were late that year. We are late most years. We need to work on time management.
Just wait.
2018
better.
was no exception. But I remember it was you and O'Grady driving or operating the robot, and just simply based off of more experience and more fluidity to it, you became operator, and O'Grady was not. But a whole can of beans kind of
There
skedaddled.
was a whole canopy.
What?
Like, it kind of like, you know,
Baked-
those bush
baked
beans
beans?
that
Baked
kind of
beans?
leaked from the
Bush's
from
baked
the
beans?
Oh god,
Yes,
don't
sir.
get Steven started. Don't get Steven started.
I wrote a
Oh,
check. I wrote a check for 43 cents for a can of beans, but the man never actually brought the beans. I was so mad.
What?
I still have the check in my wallet, I think. Let me see.
Oh, this is chaos.
what?
No. Did I
Welcome
bring
to
it?
1189.
I can't find it. Yeah.
Chaos incarnate.
I had a check for 43 cents. And that was
43 cents.
Yeah, it's 43 cents.
Specifically put it.
Yeah. I was getting a deal on the beans. Because beans cost more than 43 cents. So I was getting a pretty good deal, but then the guy never actually brought the beans. So I
think it's because you never gave him the check.
We must be FRC Team 74 because we are chaos.
Burn.
Oh, I hate
How
Laugh
is that a
track.
burn? Ha ha.
I was going to set up a laugh track button. Now I wish I did.
On your stream deck.
Wait, what? Do you have the stream deck at your house?
No, I
Steven?
don't. I wish I did, because there's actually a bug with the Stream Deck software we were using that made us not able to use it. Hold on, I'll link it. And the
Wait,
person
Govin's
fixed
code
it.
had bugs in it?
What?
Not
No,
surprised.
not Govin's code. Some, like an actual, like, real... Oops, sorry. An actual, real, like, piece of software for the Stream Deck. The thing that we used to power it. And so...
Random crashes with nothing in logs. Wow.
That's what the issue was. And
Wow.
he said it should be fixed. Maybe.
Classic.
But,
Welcome to Steven and RJ going on tangents.
Issue
It's
number
great.
39.
It's not. It's painful. It is
It's
the hardest thing to
11:89.
listen to.
Hey, maybe some people want to listen to Steven talk about his 43 cent check for baked beans.
I mean, maybe that'll be one of the highlights.
Do you want to hear me talk about my 33 girlfriends?
Do you want to hear me talk about how?
Lasagna.
Do you want to hear me
So-
talk about how in last May we started a free open source vision project called OpenSite?
Steven,
Wasn't
stop.
that February?
No, last May. No, we started last May.
No.
We have more
No,
time
no.
between now
Technically-
and next season.
No,
Steven?
it was
Yeah.
definitely not May.
Steven,
It was.
It was technically started in January with Le Petit Homme.
That is
Okay, well,
not-
that was my little thing.
That is not OpenSite. That's not OpenSite. That does
No,
not
no,
count.
but that was our first attempt at a vision targeting.
Yes, I'm
That
not
was not
denying
funny.
that, but that has nothing to do
That
with
was
Do you
just
OpenSite.
wow.
Do you agree that the idea for OpenSite evolved from that?
Okay, the idea evolved, but that was only
Exactly.
because of the software.
Checkmate.
That's
Check.
that's like saying Robot Code 2020. That's like saying Robot Code 2020 evolved from Govin's 2019 Robot Code being so bad. Like technically,
technically,
yes. The idea of
no,
writing better
hey.
Robot Code evolved from
Yes.
last year's bad Robot Code.
If
Steven,
WAS
Steven.
API was never bad, we'd never stop using it.
Steven,
Yes.
incorrect. Because that is a faulty statement, as Govin's code was bad for the 4 years he was on the team. So it cannot be chalked up to that
We
one.
are throwing massive shade right.
Are you saying as soon as he left the team,
Come on.
it wasn't bad?
I
No,
think it got worse.
What are you saying?
I don't know. Cut it.
Cut it.
Yes.
Come on, come on.
Cut the fun.
Haha, Govan and Chloe.
Haha, stupid.
Oh my goodness.
Govin and Chloe kissing in a tree. Wait. Sitting
Wait.
in a tree.
Kissing a tree.
Kissing. Oh, this is chaos.
I think I've seen Chloe do that.
Kissing
The
a tree?
Yeah, now that I think about it.
I ate bread.
What? What?
You eat bread?
Sorry, I was talking about the one picture of the one time I had the bread. Remember
The one picture.
Oh
picture.
yeah.
Hold on,
The
let me
one
find
pic-
it.
Are you talking about how you shoved a whole baguette in your mouth?
Yes.
He does that all the time.
No, I don't.
Lucky.
I
Can we
only.
talk
always
about
shove
that?
I did
your
that.
mouth.
I did that the day of competition last year.
Oh no.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
true.
The thing that he does.
Is it true?
This is quickly deteriorating into degeneracy.
I can't
Can we
find...
talk about that one time? That one time that Alexa threw a breadstick at Evan's face.
This is the third time you've brought this up.
I know it gets better every time.
No, it doesn't.
She was
Wait,
so
what?
proud of herself. That's the thing. Is she didn't stop talking about it for days. She was just
Someone
like,
threw a breadstick at me after I gave them said breadstick when they asked for it,
Alexa.
it
and
was
then they threw
Alexa.
it at me.
You
She's
were
the most
trying to be a
amazing person.
gentleman.
I can't find the...
I was up. I got myself a breadstick. They were like, "Hey, grab me a breadstick." So I got him a breadstick. And we go to the media lab to check to see what people are working on, and I get a breadstick thrown at me with a bite taken out.
This episode is going to be called Lasagna and Breadsticks. Uh,
Yes.
No.
We'll call the episode Olive Garden. Welcome to the Olive Garden.
Olive Garden.
Speaking of
Italian
Olive
boys.
Garden.
What's it called?
Wasn't
Olive
there,
Garden?
Speaking
like,
of Olive
at
Garden.
States last year?
Breadsticks.
At States last year, wasn't there a group of kids that went to Olive Garden and like had to wait an hour for their food or something? It was like some Italian place. I know. Our car went to Culver's because it was in the hotel parking lot, and we were like, "Screw it, I'm done."
Oh yeah, no, that was
Oh,
Olive
yeah.
Garden. That was.
It was Olive Garden.
Chloe and Sam and that.
So last year we went to a competition and my mentors were very, very strict and they're like, yeah, we're going to eat food that they serve because we're going to support the team who's hosting it. And people on my team, they just did not care. So they went to Olive Garden. They disappeared for like 3 hours. Like beyond the time for lunch. They just
Me and the boys-
disappeared.
I
Me and the
hear
boys disappearing to eat Olive Garden.
They came back with just bags and bags of, and then they shared it with everyone, with like in the stand.
The great breadstick thievery.
The great.
I think what would have been smarter if at competitions a team goes to Olive Garden and get as much breadsticks as possible, then sell each
There's
breadstick
the
for like $5.
Chris, I feel like you're the only person who would buy those breadsticks.
I wouldn't buy them.
Breadsticks are good. They're good breadsticks.
I
Would you
Anyway.
buy 'em from
remember
a-
a time that I've had Olive Garden.
I've never had it.
This
I
is-
don't. I
this
think
is
I had it
me
once when I was super
baguette in
little,
my
but
mouth.
That
What?
picture could be used many ways.
Too many ways, bro.
oh, that's a peek in our design area. Now there's another TV.
Do you like how small my mouth is in that picture?
You guys just have a design error.
Yeah.
I think it's just
You
disoriented.
don't?
No. It's
Oh.
more or less just me and the design team just being like, all right, we're claiming this table. Okay?
I mean, the
Yeah,
design
just-
area is 2 computers, because right now we have 2 people on design.
I remember
And
when
one person
computers,
remember when I
graduating.
first joined the
two-
team?
I do, Steven.
I
It was a terrible day.
I remember when I first joined the team,
Oh, God.
and so we were using the build table for programming for like the first probably
Yeah.
2 months I was on the team, and then Evan like sometimes December, so probably like 2 weeks before kickoff, Evan was like, "Get off of our table. This is the build table," and I'm like, "What? No, this is programming table. This is where programming's been." And I was like, "Actually, no, this is the build table. This has been the build table the entire time." I'm like, I hate Evan now.
And then you continue to use it. And I had to
Yes.
out every day
It's
so
true.
I could put a robot.
It's because I got used to going to that table, and then I forgot to not go to that table.
My
Steven,
team.
you literally were sitting on a stool with the laptop on your legs and propped up against the vice.
Yeah, what about it?
The rice?
Vice.
Vice.
Yeah, no. We just have a bag of rice sitting on the build table.
We
for
have a
if get
giant bag
hungry.
of baking soda sitting on the build table. That's for certain.
That's for
Um,
snacking.
One of the other teams I was on having the podcast, they talked about they listed a whole thing of stories. Don't be one of the later episodes, but they listed a whole thing about things that they wouldn't talk about, and they go stories and they list it off. The second thing is rice. So I am so interested into seeing what this rice story is about.
Oh,
Is
if
it
we're
the
thinking
team-
about or listing things that we're not allowed to talk about,
Don't say it,
number
Julia.
one.
Pop, 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 pop. Don't say the G word. We already talked about
Number
that.
one.
I was going
Number
into
one. What Stephen talked about today.
number two, Beject.
Uh,
Oh.
Number 15.
Number-
wait. Which Beject?
What do
I
you
mean,
mean?
which? It's just the one.
Yeah, no, but there's the one and then there's the wannabe one.
Oh, the one.
Okay.
he's like Neo from the Matrix.
The guy.
That's sad.
The one who doesn't stay at college.
Ooh.
Really? Oh, F.
Wait, what?
Wow.
No, he
Yeah,
just
all
always
right.
comes back to his house in robotics.
Also, I'm not convinced he's straight.
Who is BJ?
Oh yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
Wait, want me to give
I'm
his
trying
phone number to
imitate
you?
the audience.
No.
You want me to
Chris.
Get him on the podcast.
Chris, that already happened at States at Worlds 2018.
I asked his sister about it, and she said that he was in love with his work.
Oh, he's more in love. Let me tell you that he's more.
There
How
are some
long
stories
has
about
he
him we
been
don't talk.
doing gym? That's
More?
the question.
Like the
What's the
Spanish
question? What about
people.
Jim?
How long has he been doing gym?
Who is
You
even
Not long
said-
enough, that's for sure.
Huh?
You said he was
Not
more
long
than in love
enough.
with his work. Not okay. Thank you, Chris.
Who's
Alright,
eating
well,
a Debbie cake right now?
Evan, stop.
Evan, are you
What?
looking
You gotta-
for babies again?
You got a zebra cake or something?
What?
You got a nutty bunny? What's going on over there?
What?
You got a little
You're a
Debbie in your
rapper.
hand. Yeah, I hear. We all
We all hear the
this.
rapper.
I don't know what you're
Alright,
talking about.
Anyway. Steven, he said he's gotta go. Right.
Oh, we have an open site meeting.
So we should
5
wrap
minutes?
this up now.
I'm gonna go join the open site meeting.
Oh,
Are there
no.
is there anything you guys want to say?
Download OpenSite. It's free and open source.
Anyone who has been offended by Steven,
Richard Stallman approved.
I am sorry.
No, it's not. It's actually MIT license, which is not Richard Stallman approved.
Oh yeah.
We'd have-
Alright,
everyone,
Chris,
You'd have to
good luck
relicense
on
it under
chairmans.
GPLv3.
Wait. Good luck on chairmans for all the teams who applied and get to hear back for their second competition.
If you know Vue.js and want to help with OpenSite, message me. That's all I have to say.
Oh yeah.
Alright, I'm server muting everyone now. Hold on.
Bye.
Joke's
I
on
didn't even
him.
do my
I can still talk when I'm
We're gonna
server
do
muted.
the. Oh shoot. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I got an Instagram. You should follow me. It's Chris1189. You should follow my Instagram. It's pretty cool. Okay, that's it.
All right. So anyway, Evan says unmute. All right, Evan. This is the last thing. Yes, Evan.
Okay. Everyone, I just want to end on this.
So anyway, Steven's staying in the call for a little bit more. Anyway, thank you guys all for listening to episode 4 of the First After Dark podcast. As you can tell, Team 1189, definitely a whole bunch of interesting people. I hope they are able to come on later. But, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys all for listening. This has been your host, the FRC Meme Man. Anyway, this has been your host, the FRC Meme Man. Thank you all been listening. We're listening. And I will see you guys all later. Peace.